What chance do you give Texas against Ohio State?
Yeah.
Minimal for me.
Yeah, it's going to be hard. Now, listen, the game is in Dallas.
Really?
The game is in Dallas.
Yeah.
That will help.
Yeah.
But on Ohio State right now is playing with such a chip on their shoulder, they're going to be a complete pain in the neck.
If Texas has to play the Ohio State that we've seen against
They got no
Tennessee and
chance.
Oregon,
Yeah.
they're going to get boat raced. First of all, this young man right here, number 4, Jeremiah Smith, if he
spectacular.
came out of this year's NFL draft, he would run away being the number 1 pick.
I'm not
Wouldn't
sure
even,
about that. I'm not sure about
He
that.
would be easily
I'm
the
not
number
sure
1.
about that. I'm not talking. You're talking talent. I'm talking the mindset of NFL teams and the importance of the position of quarterback. That's all I'm thinking. I'm not saying that you're wrong in terms of talent. I just don't trust that a team would pass up a quarterback with potential because of an elite wide
Don't even
receiver.
talk about the
That's all
number
I'm
1
saying.
pick. Like, by the way, as a Giants fan, I'm like,
He would be
seriously,
the
you
number
could
1
win
pick
that
in this
game?
year's NFL draft if he can come out.
You say that. You say that. You don't know that for sure. You don't know that for sure
I'm
because
just telling you,
it's a
he's
sucker
shooing.
born every minute.
Shooing.
And I've watched
I'm just
NFL
telling
teams
you.
one year after another succumb to the pressures of drafting a quarterback. Talent-wise, you're absolutely right. But this ain't the days of Keyshawn Johnson when he gets drafted number 1 by the New York Jets, okay? And you pick him ahead of quarterbacks. In today's day and age, because of the way the game has changed and the way these guys appear at the mercy of the quarterback position, think about it. We got quarterbacks that ain't even making the playoffs that should make $55 million a year.
Stephen A.
$55 million a year. So what that tell you?
I got nothing but love for you. If this young man came out of this year's NFL draft,
right.
it would be the easiest number 1 pick probably since Joe Burrow.
Okay.
He's that unbelievable.
Okay,
He's
got
got
you.
13 catches. He's got touchdown catches of
You're
42, 43, 45.
And your argument would be profound if I was disagreeing with you from a talent perspective. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about NFL executives being at the mercy of the position. You can't sit there and definitively say that ain't an executive, that there's not one single executive in the NFL that will go like this.
This year?
I really need a quarterback. So, but this guy is great. But I really need a quarterback, so I'm going to get the quarterback. You're trying to tell me none of them will make a decision?
This year.
Please.
This year.
You're giving them a pass. You're giving NFL executives a pass.
No,
Stop it.
I'm telling you, this year it would not be a conversation.
Then you know what? Why don't you just listen? Why don't you just wait for that?
Did you watch yesterday? Did you watch this young man?
Him, I've been watching because I've watched Ohio State on several occasions this year. I know what this
Did
brother
you
can
watch
do.
what he did?
He's spectacular, but then again, he is spectacular. But let's face reality. Oregon didn't show up. That's not the Oregon who did 13-0. We didn't see that team yesterday. They got beat down. They got embarrassed. We didn't anticipate that coming. They didn't show up to work.
And by the way, how about all these Ohio State fans who wanted Ryan Day out on a freaking raft after the Michigan game? Who cares about the Michigan game now? I could care less. They beat Tennessee. They killed them. They killed Oregon. They're in the semifinals. They're playing in January 8th and 9th. Do we care about Michigan's loss?
Maybe the best thing that happened to him.
Maybe so.
33 days ago.
Because you brought it up, and I didn't know whether we were getting this late or not. But damn it, we here, so I'm gonna get here later. I'll get back to you later, okay? You just giving executives a pass. You don't see the kind of decisions they make. You don't see the kind. Mitchell Trubisky was pick number 2. Stop it.
Mitchell Trubisky didn't have
Wilson was pick number 2. Stop it.
I'm telling you,
it's just ridiculous. In theory, I get you. Jeremiah Smith, the brother's spectacular. But I want to hear that. Let me get to you and Mr. Ryan Day because I'm glad you brought this up. I was going to wait till later to bring this up, but since you brought it up now, I'm going to look right into the camera. Although I was misquoted by the great Kirk Herbstreit, my buddy, you understand what I'm saying? Him and Mr. Chris
I know you guys had a little.
No. I did. Shannon, that's shit. Then Shannon Sharp. I'm fine. Kirk Herbstreit. I love the guy. The bottom line is this: I was misquoted. But let me be very, very clear about what I said. Had Ryan Day lost to Tennessee, he should have been fired. Despite a 66-10 record. He beat down Tennessee. He beat down Oregon. He did what he was supposed to do. Congratulations. Had he not done that, I'd have been right here saying he needs to go. Because it's not about your record. It's about what the job mandates. Every job has a particular mandate. At Ohio State, it's beating Michigan, and it's competing for national championships. Had losing to Michigan 4 straight years. Having lost to Sharon Moore, who, by the way, showed up and beat Alabama, major props to him, okay? Had you then turned around with a $20 million roster, NIL, with 11 NFL caliber players returning to the roster. And Ryan Day had lost to Tennessee His ass should have been gone. I didn't stutter then. I ain't stuttering now. It's just that you showed up and you handled your business against Tennessee and you handled your business against Oregon, which means you did what you were supposed to do. Now we back off. When we said what we said, that was because you hadn't done it. Now, the last time Ohio State has won a national championship was when? I think it's 2014. Last time they won a Big Ten title was when? 2020. You ain't win a national championship in 11 years. You haven't won a conference title in 5. This is the Ohio State. This ain't Drexel, Villanova, or something like that. This is the Ohio State. You have to win.
I think the reason why the noise was so loud after the Michigan loss, because everyone knew how good of a team they were. And there's no way a team that good at home should lose to Michigan that we watched, beat Alabama, but, not a dominant football team.
Yeah, they lost.
But I would argue over the last 2 games, the expectations are ramping up even higher.
No, the expectations is to win a national championship. But what I'm trying to say is that it's a product of the greatness that they displayed, which we said they should have been showing. Before these 2 games, we didn't see that greatness. And we were like, what's up?
Would you not be shocked if they don't win it now?
I would not. Shocked's too strong. I'd be surprised.
I'd be surprised.
Who do you think could beat it?
When they show up, you never know.
But no. When they show up and play,
I'd be shocked if they lost to Texas. I'm not going to say that against Georgia. I'm not going to if they end up beating Georgia. I don't know if Georgia's going to beat Notre Dame. I'm not going to say that if they end up losing to Georgia. You better not lose to not the Texas we've been watching. Better not lose to that
I
team.
agree with that.
Here's the overall point for me. The idea that these conference rivalries is the be-all, end-all in a 12-team format, to me, it goes completely out the window. Here's the question I ask Ohio State fans. Would you rather have beaten Michigan and lose to Tennessee, or lose to Michigan and go to the Rose Bowl on New Year's Day and kick the hell out of Oregon in that beautiful stadium and up 34-0? You know what? They want the loss. I'll deal with the loss to keep on playing now.
I always hate those questions you throw out. Always hate it. Let me tell you the problem.
In 1963.
Let me get
We live in reality.
Let me get on him about this, because this is what Doggy does. So let me ask you this question. When you bet, like you bet last week. You understand what I'm saying? Like you bet last week, right? Do you sit up there and go like this? Well, 2 weeks, what would you rather have? No! In the moment is where you're living. You don't know what's going to happen 2 weeks from now.
But I know
3 weeks from now.
2 weeks ago when they lost to Michigan.
The point is, Michigan matters at the time you play at Michigan, because
don't use that as a cop-out, the whole I got to see it type of thing.
No, what I'm saying is, you lose to Michigan. That's what matters at the moment. You can't sit up there 2 weeks later and say, what would you rather have? Would you lose to Michigan and win on the Rose Bowl, or would you beat Michigan and not get to the Rose Bowl? No! At the time that you're playing Michigan, that's where you're at. You're living in the moment, as Molly would say.
But the season didn't end when they lost to Michigan, because everybody knew they were going to play in the playoff and had a chance to get redemption.
I feel you.
That's my point.
But in Ohio, but at Ohio State, that doesn't matter when Michigan is coming into town. You might look at that in hindsight.
I would love
but at the
to
time,
continue
to
debate hypotheticals, but unfortunately I have to get into commercial break. Happy New Year, Dan.
Happy New Year.
We'll talk soon.
How much